Okay, everybody. Hello to everyone still in the chat. If you're still in the chat, let us know. Say something, because we're still going to be here for another 12 plus 7. That's 19 hours? 19 hours, yeah. We have, yes, thank you, Flipple. Mike in the chat says welcome back, so he's still tuned in. Guys, while we were moving things around, we just got another donation. This was a $50 anonymous donation with a message. They say, this is an awesome event. Keep going, guys, with 3 exclamation points, so you know they're serious. And our, let's see, if I refresh this, I think that top donor thing might be outdated. Okay, yeah, no. All right, so thank you so much to Anonymous for that latest $50 donation. That brings our total currently, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, up to $338. So that is above our first wheel spin goal, which was $333. So we are. Do you think we should go ahead and spin the wheel? I guess, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then after this, we're going to be playing some Portal Reloaded. It's a free mod for Portal or Portal 2. I'm not quite sure which. Thank you to Kelly in the chat, also still here. So we have at least 2 people still tuned in. So yeah, we're going to spin the wheel. We'll do the wheel spin item. Yes, the wheel is back. Now, we don't have the physical wheel, unfortunately, because that is still in St. Louis. And Michael couldn't fit it onto his carry-on luggage for the plane, which is totally understandable. Could you imagine trying to get through TSA with that giant wheel?
It was bad enough getting through TSA with a Pelican case full of audio gear, and
I thought you were going to say it was bad enough getting the wheel from Adam's house to the hangar the 2 years that we had it there, because that was also awkward. I had to walk it up the street because it was easier to walk it than to try and fit it in my car.
Well,
so I was walking outside down the sidewalk with this gigantic game show wheel.
The venue was, Faith was right next to that particular, but it was still like
there was a big steep hill that I had to go down.
It's about a mile.
It was a little walk. Yeah,
like this was not like a short walk.
So yeah, that wheel, I'd love to have it. I don't have it here, but we've got something that is also good, and that is a very nice. It's kind of chilly. I want to turn the air conditioning off later. Let's see.
Oh, I thought that was just me. I was noticing.
Big desktop, small webcam is the name of this scene. Does that look good? Do I have stream keys anywhere? I've got Twitter open. Let me make a new scene here, and just replace that.
You had to make an adjustment.
Yeah, gonna replace that desktop capture with a window capture. All right. So copy and paste. Nope, can't do that. Duplicate. Big wheel. Small webcam. There we go. And we're going to get rid of that screen capture. We're going to add a window capture called wheel. And that is going to be picker wheel. So shout out to pickerwheel.com. We evaluated several electronic wheels for this year, and we determined this one to be the best that we could find. So
yeah, we spent a good 30 minutes on it.
Maybe 30 seconds, 30 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. But this one, we do think it's pretty good. So I'm gonna adjust that framing a little bit more. Transition, there we go. Okay, so we've got 3 things on the wheel this year. This is the first time we're seeing the wheel. Here's the 3 things we have. We've got a cooking show. We are in an apartment. We've got a kitchen back there, so we figured, why not do something we can't do elsewhere? We have something to cook.
I thought you were going to say something we can't do.
Why not do something that is literally impossible to pull off on this stream with the technology we have available to us? No, we're going to give it a shot if we get it. And there's a story behind what we're going to try and cook. It's not Beverly, so don't worry. But yeah, that's item number 1 is cooking show. Item number 2 is Jacob Raps. As you all know, I've enjoyed doing some raps the past couple of extra live streams, so that's an option. And then item number 3 is apartment tour. I'm living in an apartment. I just hit the microphone. Living in an apartment. I haven't done an apartment tour video. The recording for that one would probably be private to Nerd Club members, but everyone here live, you're here, you get to see the apartment tour if we hit that. The recording might be public. I'll have to figure that out afterwards.
Have to see what you do with that one.
Yeah. I am going to fix the timer real quick before we spin the wheel, because I just noticed that the timer's messed up. Man, the AC is blowing directly on me right now.
You want me to turn it down?
No. I don't think you can turn it, like, we'd have to turn it off. Come on. Paste. Reference. Why? Timer. Copy. All right. Something's going on with my keyboard shortcuts. I hope that doesn't affect the gaming. We can just grab a laptop if it's affecting the gaming. We have enough of them. All right, there's the timer fixed. And here, hang on, desktop audio, there we go. Here is our game show wheel. So gonna go ahead and do our first spin of the night. That is a fast wheel. And what is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It's the suspense. We doing a rap? We doing an apartment tour? Are we doing a cooking show? Is the first wheel spin item going to be a cooking show, or are we going to go all the way to the rap? We doing the rap, cooking, rap? Which is it gonna be? Nerd on the Street cooking show. I messed up the words right when it happened. Nerd on the Street cooking show. All right, that's our wheel spin item. I guess we're doing cooking. We're gonna do Portal Reload in a little while, but first we're gonna cook. We're gonna have to move all the stuff we just moved. Hang on, no, let's use the handheld. Can we use the handheld mic? We'll just bring one camera over there.
Yeah, we'll bring one camera and then we'll do the handheld. And
yeah, that'll be. There's only 2 of us here. You guys got to cut us some slack on the angles.
Yeah. Well, right. Like typically, like with previous extra lights, like we did all the tech.
Right.
So it's like.
But now I'm gonna be cooking. While Michael attempts to make sure the camera's pointed the right way. So here's what we're going to be cooking. And by the way, shout out, Kirsten's also still in the chat. She says it's getting late in New York. I bet it is. So some of you might have watched the series that me and a couple other people, including my cousin Adam Herrera, did for a while last year. That series was called The Flowchart Kings. It was originally known as the Visual Novel Book Club, but it was renamed to The Flowchart Kings. And that was a show where we sat down and we played visual novels. We played one called Chaos Head. It was a wild ride. Now, during one of those episodes, we have lots of banter. And, all right. Sorry, I was distracted by the chat. I'm surprised my chat bot's working. That's bridging the chats, so that's cool. So those of you who watch the Flowchart Kings, we play visual novels, we read them, but we also talk about what's going on in them. And at some point, the topic of cooking came up, and somehow, I honestly don't remember. I would have to go and find the recording, but we came up with the idea of cooking marshmallows. I think what happened was somebody mentioned cooking marshmallows in the game, and I said, like, you can't make your own marshmallows. That's impossible. Marshmallows are processed, right? You need like a factory to make them. And Adam was like, no, you can absolutely make your own marshmallows. I was like, have you ever done it? He says, no. But we Googled it there on stream, and lo and behold, you can absolutely make homemade marshmallows. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I guess we should turn the music off because we thought we were going to be playing Portal. But we're going to... Let's see. Do you have the handheld mic like ready to go right now?
It's over there. You just got to plug it in.
Okay. Well, I don't want to go back to the screen though because we just had them sitting on the Be Right Back screen.
It's going to take me a second
to... Okay. Well, I'll entertain them while you... Yeah. We're going to need to turn the camera back on too.
Game pot down on the Scarlet just a little bit. It was clipping.
What? Like for me?
On here.
Oh.
Let me turn this down just a...
For my talking? Shouldn't we do that through your mixer and not the Scarlet? That's fine.
I just turned it down a little bit there.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm excited to play. We've got some really good games lined up for later. The one that I'm most excited about is called Bullets Per Minute. It's a first-person shooter where you have to shoot on the beat, and I'm really excited to play that later. But that's one that I want to like save the better stuff for later in the stream too. Because it's gonna get a little difficult later in the stream, so we'll need some cool stuff then. Don't want to burn it all out now. But yeah, Portal Reloaded that we're gonna play after we do some cooking here. That one, it adds a third portal that you can use to go between 2 different timelines in the testing chamber. So it adds like another dimension to the Portal gameplay, which will be pretty cool. All right, well, I guess I'll click Hide Choice on Cooking Show now that that's done. And yeah, so let me... Gonna need to get that camera started again. I wasn't expecting. We were all ready to move on to our next segment, but we're doing the wheel spin item. The people are here. Oh, Raviolan has played Portal Reloaded. He said he's too stupid to finish it. No, I'm sure you could finish it if you set your mind to it, Raviolan. Yeah, Mike has heard of it and seen some gameplay. Yeah, I'm excited for it because I like puzzle games. So that's another reason we were going to play that one a little bit earlier in the stream here. Hopefully the marshmallow cooking doesn't take too much out of us. Me and Michael went to the grocery store earlier today and got all the ingredients, so we're all set. I'll go back to webcam only since we're done using the wheel for now, and I'll fix the frame rate on the webcam since that is once again reset itself. Oh, come on, webcam. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? The webcam has frozen again. The webcam is not supposed to freeze. Only the other ones are supposed to freeze. I don't know why Michael's playing the stream audio back there, so I'm just here waiting for a handheld mic.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
Okay. Well, we're gonna switch to the. Can you plug that camera HDMI in?
Will this run on battery?
It will.
Okay.
It's got limited time on battery, but
Give us an hour or so.
long enough to fix the webcam, hopefully.
We literally just unplugged this.
I know, we just unplugged all the cameras because we were like, oh, we're sitting down at the desk.
What do you want to do with this?
I mean, you can point it at me for. Okay, good. So, good. What do we want in the bottom of this? We probably should just get the audio waves.
Yeah, that's probably good.
So let's take Let's take this OBS scene, and we will. So you're watching me configure the OBS scene that you're about to see. So this is very meta. Small audio. All right, then we're going to take our cool spectralizer and the green color. We'll copy those. We will paste them down here. And then we will get rid of this source. All right. Well, those didn't go to the location that I wanted them to, but green. To the bottom. And then spectralizer up. All right. A lot of work goes into this little effect here. Testing. All right. Do I have a handheld?
It's over here.
Okay. 1 second, everyone. Oh, transition this. Oh, we need music too. Testing, hello. Can you guys hear me right now? This is, I don't think the angle's very good yet.
All right, we're live.
Okay. Okay. So this will be interesting. So not expecting to hit this wheel item so soon. It's always, the one you think is going to be last is always the first one we roll. I want to be able to stand up. Can you see, but can you also see the counter still?
Yeah, you're in frame.
Okay, and the counter's still in frame? All right. So, homemade marshmallows. Oh, I'm going to need my phone with the recipe. Can you, all right. Michael, you're gonna have to be kind of a microphone person during this segment. Like after we get the angle set up, that is. You're doing great. All right. Can we move this just a little bit? Yeah, just so they can see our workspace here. All right. Walking out of the camera shot again. This is taking a minute. Mike says he thinks that marshmallows are made from sugar and air. See, that's what I thought. I was like, how do you make a marshmallow? You've got to have some kind of fancy air injecting machine that only factories have. We'll see how recognizable the marshmallows are.
Test.
It's only 6 ingredients. We picked, there were a couple different recipes. We picked the simplest one that would require us to purchase the least number of ingredients. Can you flip that around so I can see the shot, the frame? Okay, I can stand up. Good. And they can see. All right. So here are our 6 ingredients. Yeah, because we have someone in the chat who doesn't know what they're made of. So, and neither did I. So here are our 6 ingredients for marshmallows. First, we have 3 packets is how much the recipe calls for. We've got 4, but 3 packets of unflavored gelatin. That's ingredient number 1. 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. Okay. So that's a major ingredient there. We've got 1 cup of light corn syrup, which is just clear there, but is very, very syrupy. You can see how slowly the bubbles move around in that, so that's a thick substance. Let's see. Next, we've got, this should be really actually not that long to do all this. We need 1/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt, which we've got right there. We're going to need 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, which we have acquired. And finally, we've got way too much of this. Confectionery sugar, which is only for dusting.
It was the smallest package they
had.
had.
The smallest package of confectionery sugar, like powdered. Is this the same as powdered sugar?
It's cooking sugar. I don't know
what's the difference
is.
between confectionaries and powdered sugar? Because it says powdered. All right. Well, this is confectionery sugar, and we're going to be using that to dust the marshmallows and give them a nice texture after they're done. How many steps? This is only 5 steps. Super easy. Okay. So I'm going to, are we going to set, do you want to hold this, or are we setting up a shotgun here?
I just had one here in case we both needed to talk.
Okay. Would you be okay holding this? Or why don't we get a shotgun on the other side of that counter so that,
I don't know how well it'll work, but
okay, if you'd rather hold this, then that's fine. Or on this side of the counter. All right, so the first step in any good cooking experience is washing your hands to make sure that your food is clean after it's done. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Yeah. Why are you holding a shotgun in front of me? All right, hands have been washed, so that's step 1 out of the way, and then I pick my dirty phone up immediately. So we need to combine the gelatin and 1/2 cup of cold water in the bowl of it. Michael, we should have read the instructions before we bought the ingredients, because the first step is to mix gelatin and 1/2 cup of cold water in the bowl of an electric mixer. fitted with the whisk attachment. I have a whisk. Okay, we're going to do it manually, but I have a whisk. This is calling for an electric mixer, which we don't have, but it's okay. We will make do. How do I turn off? All right, my phone's going to keep trying to turn off, but that's fine. So we need a bowl. Let me find my whisk first, actually. Can you talk to the chat about how you think this is going to go for a second while I look for...
How do I think this is going to go?
Yeah.
You want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Probably not very well, but we're going to give it our best, right? That's the goal.
Whisk. So we got that. And let me see how much we're going to need to put in this bowl so I know how big it needs to be. So we're going to combine the sugar, corn syrup, salt, and half a cup of salt while they're in a small saucepan. What's saucepan?
I have no idea.
Okay. This is not going well. Cook over medium heat. We need to cook this on the stove? I thought this was going to be an oven thing for some reason, but sounds like stove. Until the sugar dissolves. Raise the heat to high and cook until the syrup reaches 240 degrees on a candy thermometer, which we also don't have a candy thermometer or any thermometer. Remove from heat. With the mixer on low speed, slowly pour the sugar syrup into the dissolved gelatin. Put the mixer on high speed and whip until the mixture is very thick, about 15 minutes. I'm sorry, I just was not expecting there to be this many tools that we weren't ready for in the instructions here. With a sieve, generously dust an 8 by 12 inch non-metal baking dish with confectionery sugar. Pour the marshmallow mixture into the pan. Smooth the top and dust with more confectionery sugar. Allow to stand uncovered overnight until it dries out. Turn the marshmallows onto a board and cut them in squares. All right, I'm going to send this in chat so that everybody in chat can follow along with these instructions. Putting this, hopefully our Discord bridge works here because I want everyone to understand what's going on here. Yeah, chunky marshmallows, they are going to be. Food coloring, we don't have food coloring, but good idea anyway. So hopefully that just got reposted over onto the website. I put it in Discord. So those are the instructions we're following. So I see a couple problems here. All right, we're just going to go one step at a time. It's 5 steps. 5 steps.
Yeah, how hard could it be, right?
We can make it through 5 steps. So we got our whisk. So we need a bowl.
Hold this for like 1 second. I gotta make an adjustment.
Okay. Michael is working hard to keep me audible so you guys can hear me talk about how unprepared we were for this particular wheel spin. What kind of bowl do we want? I guess it's going to be a glass bowl because don't have that many bowls. It sounds like we do need... See, I was expecting this to be like a pan thing, but it sounds like it just sets in that. Turn the marshmallows onto a board. We don't have a board, but we've got a bowl. All right, thank you, Michael. Okay, so here's the bowl we're going to use. It's glass. Hopefully, we're not going to be cooking anything in the bowl, so this should be okay. Gotta make
This is gonna be really fun to clean later.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be that hard. We're working in like a 3-foot space here, but... All right, so this is the gelatin. No, this is the vanilla. All right, this is the gelatin. And we've got 4 envelopes of gelatin. Now, I do want to try and figure out... It says 3 packages of gelatin. That's just 3 envelopes? I don't know who I'm asking. All right. I know we've got people in the chat who are competent at cooking and baking. Multiple, I think. So feel free to let us know, before we screw this up too badly. There was another website I was cross-referencing with it's like a similar recipe. Okay, so the gelatin. So this other recipe said 4 tablespoons. Is it a tablespoon per envelope? 4 envelopes. I actually don't understand. So we're going to use 3 envelopes. Servings, 16. Serving size, 1/4 of an envelope, 1.8 grams. So what is... how many grams are in a tablespoon? .8 grams, 2 tablespoons. That got me a gigabyte to terabyte converter. Tablespoons. Convert gram to tablespoons. 1.8. All right. So 8 grams is half a tablespoon. We're supposed to have... Hang on. We're supposed to have 4 tablespoons, which means we should have like 16 envelopes. Is that... I mean, these are 2 different recipes. We'll just do what the first one says. It says 3 packages. We'll do 3 envelopes of gelatin. So here's 1. We're going to eat whatever this makes. Or I am, at least. Michael is innocent. He did not come up with this idea. Adam is not innocent, but he's not here to help me.
You should take some of it back, even if it's like a year later, and give it to him.
It would be a month later, and I could try to do that.
Because let's just be honest, it's all his fault, really, right?
It was his idea. Well, it was my idea to try it on stream. It was his idea that it was possible, though. Really disappointed that more people couldn't be with us, because this, could have benefited from extra hands. And mouths. All right, that's gelatin. Half a cup of cold water. Got a cup. Somewhere. All right. Half a cup. 1/3 of a cup. That's half a cup. Okay. Half a cup of cold water. We're just going to get tap water here. So, hang on. It's just out of camera shot. Wonder if I can... There we go. All right. There's our water. Hopefully cold. Moving it over here, and there it is in the bowl. Gelatin doesn't set super quickly, does it?
I honestly have no idea.
Never worked with this material before. All right. We're going to need the half cup again in a moment, so I'm going to leave that out. Bowl of an electric mixer fitted with the whisk attachment and allowed to sit while you make the syrup. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to allow this to sit. Next, combine the sugar, corn syrup, salt, and half a cup of water in a small saucepan. Do we know what a saucepan is?
I think it's one of those just like small pans you cook stuff in the stove with. Like one of those.
That's a pot.
Well, or use that.
Okay.
That might be a little too small though.
Oh, this one's messed. This one's broken. What?
I guess just go for the pot.
I mean, I've got a pan. You think a pot would be better than... Think this will work better? It probably will. All right. So we're going to use a pot instead of a pan. You can hear me like through your headphones, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you can tell how good or bad it is. All right. That's good. We got to trying to make sure that... Oh, Kirsten, thank you. Kirsten in the chat is sending me screenshots of what saucepans. So this is a saucepan. Michael, you were correct, and I was wrong. I just want to say that.
Hey, I remember one thing from foods in high school.
Yeah. All right. So sugar, corn syrup, salt, half a cup of water. Should we... No, you're not supposed to preheat... You're not supposed to preheat oven or stoves. So the sugar, that's the 1.5 cup of granulated sugar that they're talking about there, which is this. All right. So we're going to open this up. It feels like the microphone is way too close to my mouth, but
It's one of those dynamic ones.
dynamic.
Yeah.
All right, 1.5 cups. Hang on. I don't know about you guys, but paper towels are a staple in my kitchen. I kill trees every time I cook anything. All right. 1.5 cups. So here's the first half a cup. The sugar smells good. All right, half a cup right there. Got to make sure we capture it on camera. Here's the next half cup. This is half a cup, right? Yeah.
Just put like 6 cups in on accident.
Not used to working with anything here. All right, here's our third half a cup. That's a lot of sugar, isn't it? I just want to show the stream how much sugar that is. I mean, you can see it's kind of pooling there. I don't want to dump it all out, but that's a lot of sugar. All right. So it was, what else did we put in here? Sugar, corn syrup. So the corn syrup is going to be 1 cup. I'll just use the full cup for this. So this is our corn syrup. It is sealed. That's a good sign. There we are. It was slightly inflated, suggesting that it was not packaged in Denver. All right. So, I'm going to measure out 1 cup. This better be getting clipped on Twitch. All right, it's kind of difficult to tell how full this is because it's clear. Do you see that?
Yeah, you can close.
Okay. That's about a cup, right?
Yeah.
It's just about a cup. All right. So here's our sugar or our corn syrup. Whoa, that is thick. Look at that. That is just settling right on top of the sugar. It is not falling through the sugar. It is on top of the sugar. We're going to have to bring the camera in a minute here. How do I get this to stop?
You don't?
How many hours do I have to hold this here before the syrup's done dripping?
Well, we got about another 18 we could wait, so.
Uh-oh. All right, I think I'm gonna pull the flip here. Advanced cooking technique. All right. Okay, I'm gonna access the sink here just to. All right. This is. Oh, that was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. I was trying to clean as I go. It didn't work. What's next? Salt. And half a cup of water. Do we need the full cup for anything else? No, we don't. No. All right, so the salt. How much salt do we need? We need 1/4 of a teaspoon. That is disgusting. That feels disgusting. I'm really distressed by what I'm holding right now. Okay.
Sink.
Well, but I need the rest of the cups. Hang on. All right. Commentate. How's it going so far?
I think it's going pretty well so far.
Do you think it will get better or worse from here?
I think it could go either way. Better or worse. We'll just have to wait and see. The disturbing part is that's the stuff that's like in soda and stuff. Like we eat that all the time, and that's like nasty when you see it and it's like pure form like that.
Yeah, I don't drink a lot of soda, especially these days, but I worry more about the sugar and whatnot, but the syrup is what you really got to watch out for. Yeah, so this can go in the sink. I just bumped my face into the microphone. All right. So, a fourth of a teaspoon. Is the teaspoon TSP?
I'd have to Google it.
Teaspoon. My phone's got some syrup on it now, which I'm also not happy about, but it's for the kids. TSP, yes, that's correct. Crap. All right. Hey, shout out, Kirsten's the one who made these playlists that we're still using for the royalty-free music in the background. Like, this one was meant for Pony Island because she didn't know that Pony Island had its own music. So we never used this playlist before, but we are now for cooking. Kosher salt. That probably not that side, huh? No, yeah, that side. We have to open the salt up to remove the seal first. What's the difference between kosher salt and regular salt, do you think?
I believe kosher salt's like specifically for cooking, but I could be wrong about that.
But what is the chemical or physical difference that makes it better for cooking?
It's bigger granules, that's for sure.
It does look like that's the case. Doesn't smell like much. Fourth of a tea. Actually, I can just scoop it out. I don't need to pour it. All right. 1/4 of a teaspoon. It said a fourth of a teaspoon. Yes. Of kosher salt. All right. There you have it, folks. That was the right bowl. Yes. What else do we need? Half a cup of water. All right. We're good, folks. Half a cup. This is half a cup. There's your half a cup of water. Okay. So, gelatin's still setting, but we need to put this saucepan, as we learned it's called, onto medium heat. We don't have a thermometer. Thermometer was what it would be called. All right, but I've got a stove, so I actually am keeping this round pan on the stove just because it's too big to fit in any of my cabinets. So we'll just move it off to the side. Gonna have to put all this back before the apartment tour if we hit that goal later. People might stop donating after this cooking show. Like, that was enough of your wheel spins, Jacob. Thank you. All right. So we are going to turn the stove on back here. Can they see the stove? I hope they can. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna put that onto medium heat. We're gonna set that there, right there. And they said to do that until the sugar dissolves. Okay. Well, don't know how we tell when the sugar is dissolved because it's at the bottom. Do we just see it stop being?
Yeah, it should disappear into the syrup.
Okay. Should we bring the camera over to give them a better shot of this, do you think? I can hold the mic for a second if you want to grab it. All right. I'm going to try and check the live stream shot on my phone here. All right, so Mike says this has already gotten so complicated. Yes. Frog says it's 9.25 grams of gelatin in a tablespoon. Food gelatin does. I don't understand. I think Frog was telling us we're doing something wrong, and he's probably correct about that, but I'm not 100% sure what it was. Food gelatin does no, is all that made it into the Discord. Mike says, no, mix it up, then let it set. Oh, so we mix it. All right, okay. All right, Mike, we're mixing. Don't worry. Oh, no. Oh, no. We should have been watching chat more. I didn't know this was how this worked. It didn't tell us to mix it, did it? It said into the bowl of an electric mixer. It did not say to turn the mixer on. No. I think let's stop touching that. I think reading these instructions, I don't want to say that Mike's wrong because he's probably right, but this doesn't mention turning the mixer on until we pour the sugar syrup into the dissolved gelatin. So does it like melt again when we pour the hot syrup on it?
Yes.
That's how it sounds to me. That's what I'm crossing my fingers and hoping because that's the only way in hell that this is going to possibly work.
What do you want this on? Over here?
Frog says it says combine. Yeah, show them the dissolved syrup. It says combine. It doesn't say mix. Does combine imply mixing, guys? Food people in the chat. Does combine mean mix? They should be more clear. They should say mix or whisk. Oh no. Are you getting a good angle there? The tripod gets taller. I don't know if it's worth. It might be better if you just take that off of there and like hold the camera because you can. We also don't want to like get any bubbling syrup on the camera lens because we need to do the rest of the stream.
You know what I was thinking?
Mike is now not sure. I've made him start questioning himself with my baseless speculation. I just assumed you had to mix it so the powder would dissolve. Kirsten says, yes, LOL. Yes, what? Yes, what? You got to be more clear. Yes, we're doing okay, and it will dissolve again when we pour the syrup in. Is that the yes?
That's what we're going with, because that's kind of.
Oh, Kirsten says combine means mix. Well, we've only got one more packet of gelatin, so we can't redo that part. I almost got more gelatin, but then we went for the one that only had as much as we needed. Well, I didn't want to have a bunch of leftover ingredients in my kitchen for years after this experience, but it's looking like that's what it's going to be. I'm like, actually, did you even show them what's in this isn't dissolved yet, right?
No.
It did say it's set to turn the heat up at some point. It should be fine when you add the rest. If anything, it would probably not set up as well if not mixed. It should still be edible, right? Is this chemically changing anything that was going to make it edible where it will now no longer be safe to eat? Because as long as that's not the case, I'm going to risk it.
Let me hop it for you.
You're doing a really good job with the camera. Compare this to Zach's camera work in 2019. This is so much better. If you guys notice, the camera, it's not zooming in and out. It's not shaking around. This is quality camera work. Until the sugar dissolves, then raise the heat to high. So we keep it on medium until the sugar dissolves. What?
Get this out of the way.
Yeah. The chat was trying to warn us. This was why. Where's the lemur? Because I'm doing all this on my phone.
It's on the table there.
We had a laptop here. We had a lightweight. Okay.
Here.
Okay.
You got it?
I got. Oh no! I'm zooming in. No, it's 2019 all over again. Okay. No. Okay, I have to hold the zoom out button to make this work. We had a laptop here that was going to be used just basically for watching chat when we were over on this side of the room. That was why we got this laptop out today. I'm not setting it on the stove. On second thought, this laptop, I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to set it here. That's safe. You'll want to stir. Okay, so we've got chat up now on a laptop. So we're watching chat more carefully now. Now you can still eat it. Yeah, chunky marshmallows. Chunky marshmallows is what we're going for. You'll want to stir the sugar to help it dissolve. After we pour the syrup in, we'll want to stir it. Oh, stir this. It doesn't say. Do I have a metal spoon?
It's just like a.
I should. Hang on. This should be good for heat, right?
Something metal.
I know, but metal scratches this up. That's how I ruined that pan, was with a metal thing. Chat, is this safe to use? I don't even know what material it's called, but is this safe to use? I've got a metal fork if we just wanted to kind of... All right. People are telling us to stir, so I'm going to... I hate this. I hate this so much. I feel like I'm... Yeah, nothing better really in there. All right, I'm going to take a fork until we hear back. Oh, that is cooked to the bottom of the... Okay, no, we're okay. We're okay. It's coming up, guys. Don't worry. Yes, please hold it. I've already scratched this stove a ton. Gonna have to figure that out before I move out. These are some good royalty-free tracks. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard this one. It's just in our library. Okay. I think I was scratching the bottom of the pot here, but I'm gonna keep going. Did chat tell me if the spoon was safe or not?
Right. I can't turn around and look.
Okay, I can't move around you. The death sauce is still there. It looks like silicone. It would be fine. I can see you do little cooking. All right, look. I don't cook marshmallows every day. Yeah, I'm going to switch the plastic. We'll do dishes later. Or not plastic, the silicone. Pretty sure that's what it is. All right. I've probably already scratched the pot up, but excuse me for not wanting toxic anti-stick chemicals in my marshmallows. Yeah, no, I don't do a lot of cooking actually. I make like frozen foods, which isn't really cooking. You're just like thawing at that point. It's a lot of work. I would do it more if I had like other people to come and cook with me, because it's more fun sharing this lovely experience with friends like we're doing right now. How's that looking? I'm glad they told us to mix the sugar, because it was definitely cooking to the bottom before we started.
You would hit a giant block.
It was not going to work without chat's input, yeah. You guys are providing valuable... You guys are shaping the stream right now, just like you are shaping the lives of children in need at the St. Louis Children's Hospital. So thank you for being here with us, for donating, for helping us cook. What's that last one say? Scratching the nonstick pot would scrape off the Teflon coating. I'm aware. That's why I was trying to avoid it. That's exactly why I was trying to avoid it. Wait, did Kelly say something? The spoon you were holding up should be safe. Okay. Yeah, hey, we still do have the death sauce. 2 of these are open. One of them's still sealed. But that's ultra. Then that's mega death. Both the ultra deaths are open. I don't know how that happened. So if we get really tired later, we got that. I actually was having little bits of it after the first time we used it in 2019. Like I was having it with pizza and stuff, but eventually I just got tired of having pain every time I ate pizza, so I stopped using the hot sauce. But yeah, I had a small sip of it last year after it was really early in the stream. But I was later told by other people that hot sauce... Chat, here's the question for you. Does hot sauce go bad after it's opened? Like, is that 2-year-old hot sauce in the bottles that were opened and are no longer sealed? Should we not drink that or eat it?
Just drink it straight out of the bottle.
Right. I think we shouldn't drink it in any case, but...
So, which one's hotter?
I think Ultra was the hottest, because the Ultra is red and the Mega is a little more yellow. Should be fine. Well, that's coming from Mike. That's no disrespect. Mike knows a lot more about baking than I do, so like, but I don't know. I feel like, yeah. Mike is currently in the process of finishing years old gin on his stream. But I feel like that's alcohol, so that isn't going to hurt you after time. Like, if there's vegetables in this, the vegetables would rot, right? Like the peppers in hot sauce. That's what I'm concerned about. How do I know when this is dissolved? Is this dissolved? Can you tell? Can the camera tell? Chad, is this dissolved yet? The sugar. Because we're supposed to raise the heat to high and cook until the syrup reaches 240 degrees on a candy thermometer, then remove from heat. So I'm going to turn the heat up. Should I? I feel like it's a bad idea to turn the heat up. Because it's going to burn immediately, right? Because we don't know when it's going to hit 240. I think if anything, it would just get less hot. Who's saying that? Oh, Mike. Okay. It was definitely still hot last year. I'll tell you that. Chat, do you think this would mess it up if I don't turn the heat up? If I just pour it from here? We pour it from here into the bowl, right? We got to be careful not to burn ourselves. This is too far away. Starts to lose potency after being exposed to air. He's talking about... I can't quite make the word out from here, but he's talking about one of the peppers, I think. I think we need to call this over here soon.
That's what makes pepper spicy.
Okay. All right, so you were correct, or whoever said that was Mike was correct. All right. With the mixer on low speed, slowly pour the sugar syrup into the dissolved gelatin. This is going to be a two-hand. You want to put that back on the tripod, and then you can.
I'll hold the mic.
I was going to say you can be the mixer while I be the pourer, or vice versa.
Yeah. I'll let you pour it.
Okay. I'm having more fun than I thought I would doing this particular segment.
Where's the lock on this? It's right here. What do you want in frame? Just kind of
We probably want to bring the bowl over here and pour over so we're not moving. Well, I don't know. We don't want to make a mess on the stove either.
your head's just not gonna be in frame.
Well, I don't. Yeah, my head doesn't need to be in frame. This is important cooking stuff.
I'm just gonna like zoom in a little bit then.
Okay. So we want to be careful here. So you'll do the mixing and I'll do the pouring. It sounds like.
That's fine.
All right. We want to be careful with cables. And we need. So do you want to move? All right. Because I'm still holding a mic. Tap my phone so it doesn't go to sleep. All right. So you
Here,
move.
I'll pour this in.
Okay. Well. Okay. All right.
You may want to use that to mix this.
Okay.
Because this might.
But that's a whisk. Okay.
Is this metal? Or
It's
pla-
so the same material as this.
Probably fine then.
What are we doing? Are we? I thought you were pouring. Whoa. Okay.
Pour this in here.
Try to. Can you? I hate to ask more of you, but could you move aside so the chat can see what we're doing? I mean, like just while you're pouring it. I'm trying to keep this from burning on the top or bottom.
I'm trying to keep it from burning me.
That's fair. Perfectly fair. All right. Slowly. Slowly. Try and get it over some of the other stuff if you can. There we go. Crap. Setting this. All right. Okay. And then we're going to turn the stove off because that's dangerous.
All right, I'll go.
Surface is still hot. Yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
go handheld again.
All right. I'm trying here.
Oh, that smells like burning sugar.
Well, that's just what you set back on the stove. That's not the it's not the part we're about to eat. Looks like the Teflon is intact, so we should be safe. Oh, wait. Why did we set that back on the hot stove? Can you set that back on the the cold section so it stops burning onto the pan? Thanks. All right. What was the mixer supposed to be on? Hot or high or low? What is chat saying? You have to. Okay. I really need chat right now. Mixer on low speed. Put the mixer on high speed and whip until the mixture is very thick. About 15 minutes. Are you kidding? I'm going to be doing this for 15 minutes. on high speed too. There we go. It feels like it's almost getting less. There's still some stuck to the bottom of the bowl. Some of that gelatin that we messed up. I want to read chat so bad. What does it say? Read it out loud. Go over there. What are people saying? Okay, Michael's going to hold this. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I think if anything, it would just get less hot. Yeah. That is not whisking. You have to work. You have to work that bitch, Mike says, especially since you're doing it by hand. Okay, what do you... I don't want to make a big mess, though. What is... Is this possible without making a mess, or should we be doing this in the sink?
Luckily, it's only like...
It's starting to get thicker.
Okay, good.
Or maybe that's just some of the chunks. Because this, I feel in an electric mixer, the whisk would be twisting, right?
Yeah.
But we don't have one. I honestly did not see that was required. I would have called this off if I had seen that we didn't have the proper tools. But I was like, oh, it's just some ingredients. Like, I thought it was going to... I didn't realize we'd have to cook anything on stovetop and then pour. This is so complicated. I thought about changing it, too, to just be like crescent cookies or like something not... but I wanted to do the meme of the marshmallows from the stream. What is whisking? I don't... Okay, like this? It's like... It's got the whirlpool thing going on, whatever that's called. What time is it? It's 1 a.m. Chat has no more. They've said all they want to say for now. It's up to us. This is not going to work. Did we keep track of when I started?
Yeah, I looked at my... You only got about 13 minutes left.
Oh. So chat, how's your day going? Yes, fast. Whisking is to introduce air so it becomes smooth and fluffy. I see. Okay, well. I'm being, like, if I whisk too hard, it will spill, but I haven't spilled any yet. If you'll notice, we've got computers right next to where we're working. And also, I don't want to make a big mess in this range that I don't own. I think I'm getting more air in there by switching direction every now and then. So yeah, Extra Life 2021. I haven't read any of the current stats for like where the fundraising was at before we started this year. I'm struggling to come up with commentary while I'm whisking. Put it in one of those metal pans. Put it in one of those metal... Was I supposed to before or now? Would that help with the whisking? Why would does the material of the container affect the whisking? That's a serious question. What do you say? The bowl, so if it does spill, it can be cleaned easily. Oh, put the bowl in one of the pans. That is some big brain suggestion right there.
I want to know how you're going to pick that up.
Yeah. That's a really good idea. I've got pot holders. This is not a completely unstocked kitchen. My phone's low on battery. My phone cannot run out of battery before we finish.
My charger's right there.
Is it USB-C?
Yeah.
Okay.
Film.
Great camera. Great camera work. You can probably put it back on the tripod. There's. If only we could put the whisk on a tripod. What we should have had was like a robot. Well, no, at that point, just get the electric mixer that we're supposed to have. Gonna be inventing tools. It's pointed at my face and not.
Well, I'm gonna pick it up here in a second.
All right. Gotta go fast. Not pouring. Just set the bowl inside so you can. Oh, so that I could. So there. It sounds like the speed really is very important. But I don't. It looks like there's air getting in here. Because I still don't want to lose too much material, right? Like in the pan. I don't know. I'm probably messing it all up. Here. Is this better, chat? Are we going to need to use that pan? I didn't read the rest of the instructions yet because we're going one step at a time. Wait. Add the vanilla and mix thoroughly. Are we supposed to add the vanilla? This thing is not written clearly. Do we add the vanilla now, guys? Or do we do that after 15 minutes? I thought it was after 15 minutes, but... I know the faster the better. Do you know how difficult it is to just stand here? You probably do. You've probably done it. It's fine. This is not what I expected out of this wheel spin item. We might need to pour the vanilla in soon. Yeah. Michael is currently unboxing the vanilla in a very sanitary and professional way. Yeah, we don't want all the vanilla. That's too much extract. All right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's easier at an angle. What's our time at now?
Get about 10 more minutes.
Chat still has music, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. As long as they're entertained. There you go. Yeah. This is an educational program, not only for our viewers, but also for me. And probably Michael, too. Michael, do you do baking on a regular basis? Or, like, even semi-regular? My family always baked cookies every year. Like, the whole extended family would get together and have a big cookie day.
If by baked cookies you mean buy the
Yeah, not the pre-made stuff.
dough and
Yeah.
throw it in the oven for 20 minutes.
I feel like we should add some vanilla. How much does it say? It doesn't. Vanilla. 1 tablespoon. Sounds like a lot. Can you take it? Can you set the camera on the tripod, take a turn whisking while I pour the vanilla? Or you can get the vanilla ready. Your choice. Okay. If you want to back the camera up so you get a wider shot, feel free to. Oh, they're going to see my recycling bag sitting here if it gets too wide. That's okay. Yeah, this is my workout, all right.
Okay, what is it, a tablespoon?
Yeah. I can't, you probably, that's a tablespoon. Make sure to, the chat can see when you pour it in. We have to prove the whole process here. I love baking. This is from Mike. I love baking, but yeah, I've done it manual, so I see why they recommended the electric one. You just turn it on and walk away. Yeah. See, with the cookies, I always was like, oh, why would you wimp out with an electric mixer when you could just mix it yourself? But it's not as involved as this.
You ready?
I mean, yeah, is that get a full tablespoon. That's fine. All right. Uh-oh. All right. Go ahead. There is the vanilla, guys. This was a great idea. I'm just glad the gelatin seems to have fixed itself, because that would have been embarrassing if we had messed the whole thing up. Oh, it smells good now. Still trying to go fast here. I need to switch arms. Here, come and take the for a second, yeah. All right, still whisking away here. Ah, that's better. So, Michael, what do you think of Denver so far?
I like it so far.
Yeah, I know you've barely been anywhere else other than my apartment, so.
We went to Guitar Center, and
Yeah.
where'd we go to lunch? In and Out?
Yeah. You said you hadn't been there in a long time, right?
Yeah, I hadn't been there in a really long time. I honestly don't even know how long, but a really long time.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're always more crowded than they have any right to be, I think, but. All right, I need to go faster here.
You had about 5 minutes left.
Okay. 5 minutes at full speed. There's definitely air being introduced here, so. Is it going to turn white eventually? Is that a question mark? Do you think we have answers? It is turning sort of, I mean, it's got a lot of air bubbles in it. Oh, no. I think that's where the confectionery sugar comes in, is we powder coat it. I think. Because the pictures were a little bit more brown. I think. I can't scroll my phone right now. I've got both hands occupied. We'll see if it turns white. It almost seemed more like sugar cube, like what you think a sugar cube would be. All right, when was the first time you ever interacted with sugar cubes in person?
No idea.
Like, have you ever used a sugar cube when you were cooking?
I don't cook.
You took two years or semesters of cooking class.
If by cooking you mean I stood there and watched everybody else cook, I was...
All right, well, did cooking class have... No, we used sugar cubes in, like, middle school science class for chemistry experiments.
Yes, yeah.
And they're, like, solid, right? But when I was a kid, when I would, like, read about sugar cubes, when somebody would mention a sugar cube in, like, a book I was reading, I would always imagine that it was, like, something squishy that you could eat, not, like, a solid chunk of sugar. So what I'm trying to say is that I think this is going to be more of a sugar jello than what we would think of as a traditional marshmallow. But we'll see. We'll find out together. Might be a bit yellow at the end, says Frog. Yeah. A bit, maybe. There was another version of this recipe that had the same ingredients, but it also had like 3 more ingredients. And we went with the one that had less ingredients because it was less for us to buy, and less like wasted stuff to have after.
We're at time, so.
Okay, so I can stop.
Yeah.
Chat's gonna tell me I shouldn't stop yet. What's the next step? Let's see. Yeah, come and take the mic if you can. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. Add the vanilla and mix thoroughly. I feel feel like it's pretty thorough. With a sieve, what's a sieve? Is that the net thing, the metal net? We don't have one. Generously dust an 8 by 12 inch non-metal baking dish with confectioner's sugar. Why does it have to be non-metal? Pour the marshmallow mixture into the pan, smooth the top, and dust with more confectioner's sugar. And then we just chill it. Allow to stand uncovered overnight until it dries out, and then turn it over and cut it into squares, put more sugar on it. So we don't need to heat anything else up. Chat, can you tell me if we can use a metal pan where they're telling us not to use metal? Or can you tell me why that would mess it up? Industrial produced marshmallows have fancy dyes and secondary flavors added along with specific machines to cause them to puff up more. Yeah. I mean, there's a small chance. Chad, is it okay if we use metal for the pan that we're letting this set in, or is that another obvious thing that we'd be doing wrong? Let me know. Seeing this in the screen for the first time, that's fun. We're almost done here. We'll probably let this set while we play Portal Reloaded. And then we'll come back later and cut it. Yeah, it's like one of those cooking shows where they say like, oh, and then let it set. And then they cut to like 8 hours later. But we can actually just wait the 8 hours. Or however long it takes. I think this one might have said 4. Oh, 8 hours, 30 minutes, yeah. This should get us 20 to 40 marshmallows, apparently. Not sure why it says specifically not to use metal. Yeah, I'm not sure either. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like we're supposed to keep mixing this until... We probably should have dusted the pan with sugar first. Can you put that on the tripod and come here and just slowly keep stirring this while I get that powdered sugar going? Confectioner's sugar. What's the difference between confectioner's sugar and powdered sugar? Can someone tell us that? All right. Do you want the mic while I'm doing? I wanted like an angle like this so that they could watch both sides. They're probably just going to be able to see neither, but actually, no. We need to reset this and go back around to the other side, I think. The sound that you might hear in the background is cables being dragged along the floor.
It's my leash.
Okay. That's why it says to use a sieve. Aside from the average size of powdered sugar being slightly lower, they're mostly the same thing. Oh. They were talking about the powdered sugar versus confectioners. All right. Son of a... All right. If you would... This is absolutely metal, for the record. I don't think I have anything else. I've got the lid for the metal pan.
I would just use the metal pan.
Generously dust with confectioner's sugar. All right. I'm going to wash my hands one more time because I'm about to spread the sugar by hand since we don't have a sieve. gonna grab my pocket knife too. Oh, it's right here. Perfect. Okay, that'll do for pouring. We don't need the hand washing captured on audio, but I appreciate that. All right, let's dust this pan down. Now that Chad is out of, I can't see chat right now. Let's see. Yeah, no. Dusting it down. Oh, that was a chunk there, huh? I've got an idea. I'm going to take one of those silicone spatulas and I'm going to spread this around a bit. How's that sound? Okay. This isn't going to fall, is it? Hoping that's not going to fall. All right, here we go. So we got our pan. Gonna spread. That doesn't really work, does it? I'm just moving it around. What?
Let me try something.
Oh, yeah. Are you gonna shake it? Yeah. I think that would work better. Yeah, that's fine. This is truly a team effort here. Group cooking. And filming. That doesn't... All right. This is good, I think it's gonna get... Okay. Do you need more? Okay, we'll just pour this in. So...
You got like an oven mitt or something? Because that's probably hot.
It's glass. That's fine. This is fine. It's pretty cooled down by now anyway, I think. So I'm going to set the whisk in the sink. And we're going to pour. Smooth the top, then dust with more confectioner's sugar. All right. That definitely upset the sugar, didn't it? Can't wait to read what chat tells me I did wrong there. I want to taste some of that, but I won't.
It's basically sugar, sugar, and more sugar.
Right. Yeah, that's a very sticky bowl. It's self-smoothing, so, well, not really. All right, so we're supposed to put more confectioner's sugar on top. Yeah, I don't know about this. It's pretty low, isn't it? I think this is bigger than what we were supposed to have for the pan. Okay. All right. It says says allowed to stand uncovered overnight. Are we supposed to put these in the fridge? Are we supposed to chill them? Or do we not do that? Yeah, see, this other recipe had egg whites in it. Let rest 8 hours or overnight. Guys, will the fridge mess this up? Chad has stopped responding to us for now. Like, do we just leave it out here, or do we put it? What do you think?
Did it say just leave it uncovered?
It says leave it uncovered. Yeah, it didn't say anything. Please. Hitting me in the face with the microphone. It doesn't say to chill. All right. Chat says it sounds like it should just be left out. All right, fine. We'll let it dry out. We're going to bring the camera in just to show you guys what it looks like right now before it's dried out. Then we're going to reset. We're going to play some Portal Reloaded, which I promise will be probably more entertaining than this. We'll be more competent at Portal than we were at this, at least. So give us a few minutes. I am going to show you guys what it looks before we go, though. We don't need that anymore.